Back at UC Baseball Stadium, Andy Nagel, David DeJulius, Anthony Mazzini. Thank you for joining us, David. Cincinnati point guard, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
You're a somewhat baseball fan from our understanding. From our understanding, you walk around with a Padres jersey from time to time.
You know, I normally go out to San Diego once a year and I check out a Padres game. So I have love for them, but also have major love for the Reds as well.
What about the Tigers? You're from up in Michigan. You any love for them?
Always love, because, you know, when a professional team has some success, some cool things can happen for that city. So I'm always rooting for the Tigers as well.
Well, David DeJulius, star point guard for Cincinnati, 14 points per game this year for a resurgent Cincinnati basketball team. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But you threw out the first pitch yesterday before the game. How did that go?
Oh, it was amazing. I was nervous at first, but relieved that I was able to throw out a good pitch.
You threw a strike? Hey,
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Clutch free throw, standing on the line, everybody screaming and yelling behind the basket, or all out there by yourself throwing that first pitch? Which one's more nerve-wracking?
You know, it's funny that you said. I was just thinking about that. It goes to show how much work adds to confidence, because if you put me at the free throw line in front of a crowd, I don't feel much nerves. But when you put me out there, I was not confident. I was nervous.
Well, you threw a strike, my friend.
Thank you, thank you.
A little bit shaky, a little bit nervous there?
Yeah, for sure. I just relied on my breathing techniques and left it out there.
Okay, let's talk about, before we get into the basketball, let's talk about, you know, three-year starter here at Cincinnati, transfer from Michigan. You really like to give back to the community.
Yes.
I mean, you do a lot of reading with the elementary school kids. Why is that important to you? Did you have somebody in your life that was kind of that mentor, or just something that you wanted to give back to the community?
Well, yeah, first and foremost, I have major mentors, and I'm a product of not only my family, but the wonderful mentors that I have. And I kind of pride myself on being a holistic person and using basketball as a driving vehicle to, you know, to move the conversations forward, to make the community a better place. So, you know, whenever I had the opportunity I'm in now to be able to use that to be a part of something bigger than myself, I always like to use the opportunity.
Strike three on McDonald there as he goes down swinging for the first out in the inning. As we're joined by David DeJulius, Cincinnati point guard here in the booth. There's that swing and miss for McDonald to hit the home run in his first at bat. So, David, let's talk a little bit about this Cincinnati basketball season. Resurgent year 2 under Wes Miller, and you've been here for 3 years now. You started with John Brannon and then Wes Miller, your first time playing under a new head coach, or same head coach for 2 years. What was this season like to see the program? Yes, it's not where it wants to be yet, but to have that bit of a resurgence this year.
Oh, it's amazing. First and foremost, I believe Cincinnati and this school is the best place in America, and I'm just not just saying that. They treated me well here, and not only me, but the other athletes as well. And it's an amazing place. You know, Coach Wes Miller, he's growing the program in an organic way, and sometimes, you know, it may not happen overnight when you do it that way, but I feel like people will be pleased with the long-term success that he will have here.
Let me ask you this: for all those people that are out there, you know, the general public, and they all, every game you hear, hey, he should do this, head coach should do that, he's not doing this. Give me some background on Wes Miller. Give us an inside story on Coach Miller and how much he means to you and to this program, and where this program is going to go under him.
No one outworks that guy. I've been around many coaches, many different programs, and he's second to none in terms of his work ethic. He understands the rich tradition of Cincinnati Bearcat basketball, and he's doing everything he can to get it back there, and he will. And more importantly, he's an even better person. You can ask not only me, but other players as well, and his past players as well. What do he do for them? Not only throughout while you play for him, but also after. I'm a testament to that now. He's working behind the scenes to ensure that he do everything he can to help me into my next phase of life as well.
He just seems like it. He just seems like a player's guy. He's got a lot of energy, a lot of juice, and it just looks like a fun guy to play for.
Most definitely.
Shot off the bat of Little, diving play in center. Viderick tracks it down for out number 3. Hey, David, that was quick. You want to stay with us another half inning?
Oh, I'm with it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, we're going to keep David DeJulius with us. Nice diving play by Viderick to end the top of the 3rd inning. Bearcats coming up after a stellar play in center by the freshman. Back in Cincinnati, Anthony, Andy, and David DeJulius here with us for another half inning of Bearcats baseball against Wichita State. Nice diving play by Landon Viderick to end the top of the 3rd inning. And the freshman leads off for Cincinnati here, still facing Grant Adler for Wichita State. So, David, we've talked a little bit about your impact on the community, your baseball experience, and a little bit about the Cincinnati basketball season. Let's talk about you a little bit. Fantastic season with Cincinnati, third year with the program. What's next for you? You said Wes Miller, head coach for the Bearcats, trying to help you get to that next phase.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that. First and foremost, just tying the bow here, giving thanks to a lot of people who allow me to be in the position I'm in now. And in the meantime, training, working on my craft in the basketball gym, figuring out the agency process, and being ready to work out in front of some teams and showcase my talents.
Draft comes in June, right, at the Barclays Center up in Brooklyn. The last time I had a Cincinnati athlete up here, he went first round. Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
Had him here last year.
Most definitely.
Maybe a little luck will rub off on you, David. We'll hope so.
Hope so. If I can get a little bit of luck that he have now, I'll be successful. Sauce Gardner's a great guy from the city of Detroit, where I'm from, for sure.
Did you know Sauce growing up? I know there's a little age gap there, obviously, but
yeah, we knew of each other, but it was cool to be able to be at the same spot as him and just to see him firsthand.
Oh, I bet, man.
Yeah.
I bet. That's great. That's awesome.
0-1 pitch to Carrington Cross here with Viderick at first after the single, and it gets away right through the wickets of Milan, and Viderick up to second base.
So give us your best Cincinnati on-court, off-court. Give me an on-court, your best memories. Game-wise, I know you've had a couple game-winning shots.
The best memory may have been at the end of the Xavier game when I hit the three.
Yeah.
I got fouled. The emotions that was running through my body at that moment, it was crazy.
Now, coming from Detroit, I mean, everybody, and we talk about, I think that game is so big for the city of Cincinnati. But you guys are coming from different cities. You don't really know that rivalry. But when you're playing in it, what's it feel like?
Oh, it's amazing.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's the best rivalry in college basketball, in my opinion, because you only get it one time a year.
And we feel it in baseball too. They play each other 2 or 3 times a year, and it just adds a little something. There's something extra there when you're playing your crosstown rival.
Yeah, it's great for the city.
Now I got to ask you though, because Wes Miller is a UNC guy. That's where he came from with Roy Williams, stuff like that. To the media, of course, he's going to say, you know, Cincinnati, Xavier, big, but of course the Duke UNC is a big one too. Does he ever say, and I don't want to put him on blast here, but behind closed doors, does he ever talk about that UNC Duke rivalry?
Oh, he told you this rivalry's the best, didn't he? Oh, yeah, he told me that behind closed doors as well. I wanted to assure that he said that in the public before I mentioned that, but yeah, he told me that for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, that's a big one. Duke UNC, that's tough to beat, so you feel that Cincinnati Xavier is bigger than that?
I do, because like I said, you only get it one time a year.
Yeah.
Duke, North Carolina, you get them home and home every year, and then you get an opportunity to play them in a conference, and they just played them in the Final Four not too long ago, so you get ample amount of opportunities.
Just carries more weight here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, one game a year.
How much are you going to miss the opportunity? You had some great opportunities here, and of course you play in the Big Ten at Michigan, but how much are you going to miss the opportunity to play in the Big 12?
I'm going to miss it for sure. Like, I've been in a great conference in the Big Ten, and the AAC treated me well. And the opportunity to, be in the Big 12, I would love to see that as well. But, man, it's fun. It's going to be fun to be in the alumni realm of things, to be able to watch the program in that environment.
How about the vibe in Fifth Third Arena? Just playing games in there. Just that craziness in there. I mean,
oh, that place. When you talk about terms of college basketball venues, Fifth Third Arena need to be in those conversations for sure.
Obviously, you're going to be focusing on playing somewhere, and I hope you take this the right way. That if you don't come back for a little while, we understand. We kind of hope you don't come back for a little while because that means you're off doing your thing, playing well. But how often do you think that when time allows, you're going to be getting back here to Cincinnati and catching some games and stuff like that?
As much as I can, because they said, home is where the heart is, and this is where my heart is. And every opportunity I can get back and, give back and talk to the guys, I'm a relish in those opportunities to do that. What's
your favorite Cincinnati? You've been here 3 years now. The city's kind of embraced you as one of its own, favorite restaurants around Clifton, downtown, arts, sports. What do you like to do when you have some downtime in Cincinnati? Are you a Skyline guy? Are you Skyline Chili guy?
Yeah, I like Skyline for sure.
All right.
And I love the things that they do around the community as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The thing about Cincinnati that I love is you're not limited to what you want to do. If you want to go into the city of Cincinnati, if you want to go downtown, if you want to be a college student and stick around campus, if you want to take a little quick drive over the border to northern Kentucky, the options are limitless.
Carrington Cross strikes out for the first out in the third inning. That brings up Nicholson now. Bearcats down 5-0.
And you've been a fan of Cincinnati baseball. Been to some games last year, hanging out in the crowd, and
Most definitely. Anything Bearcat, I'm all for it.
they support you. You guys support. It's really unique here in Cincinnati. I tell people coming from out of town, that Lindner Center, I mean, that's a student-athlete building where all 500-plus student-athletes can gather. You know, you got training tables in there. You got the training room in there, study tables, your academic advisor. Everything's in that building. It's just coaches' offices. It's very unique that in the course of any given day, you're seeing athletes from all different sports. You're not just kind of separate in the basketball arena by yourself, and it's different in Cincinnati.
Oh, most definitely. I would like to speak towards that. You know, as players and coaches, we get a lot of recognition, but the tutors and the academic advisors and the personnel, such as the Karen Hatchers of the world, they're truly amazing. And that's one thing I actually preach. I say going to the Big 12 is obviously a bigger conference, but please don't lose the family vibe that's going on in there, because it's amazing.
It really is. It's different. It really is.
You mentioned, Andy, the wide encompassing perspective here at Cincinnati with different interactions, student athletes. You obviously have your best friends on the basketball team. Who would you say is your best non-basketball friend here at UC, athlete-wise?
But not on my team.
Not on your team.
You're really putting him on the spot
Yeah,
now.
that's tough. I can't choose one. Like I said, because we're in that building as one, so you see each other throughout the training room and you build so many relationships. It would be tough for me to just pick one.
Ground ball to deep short, and that's going to score a run. Harding the infield single. And the Bearcats on the board. Viderick crosses home plate.
Yeah, and I think that's a great answer, because you guys do see each other so much from different sports that you have friends that are across all sports, track and field, soccer, women's lacrosse, baseball, obviously football. Just a lot of sports here, swim and dive. I mean, you see them all in the course of a given day.
Which sport do you interact with the most, do you think? Maybe that's a better way to put it.
I interact with the most.
Big fan. Volleyball, basketball, football.
Well, obviously basketball, football, we're connected in many ways. But I would have to say I love the golf program.
There you go.
Coach, I took some lessons with them, and they do a good job there. So I love the body of work that they do.
How good are you?
I'm not that good. I got a golf set, though.
Neither is Andy, though. So
Now,
you got
there is a golf simulator down by the weight room. You got to get Coach Martin.
That's what I did the lessons at.
Absolutely, right there.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing to have on campus to get you away from the arena. Just a little stress release.
Most definitely.
Bang a couple of those little white balls into that screen.
Now, we were talking earlier about would you rather hit a free throw or would you rather throw the first pitch. I think golf might be the most stressful thing you're going to end up playing.
Oh, for sure.
Man, we talk about that sometimes up here. It's like, goodness gracious, you just want to snap that club in half.
But I'll tell you what, that game is different. I can't dunk a basketball like you can. I can't throw a football like Des can. I can't hit a home run like Ryan Nicholson can. But one time, I might be able to hit a little chip or a putt like Tiger Woods can. It's a sport that you can do it just like the pros do. It's just a different sport there.
It helps in my perspective sport is basketball as well, with my hip mobility and at the free throw line.
Yeah.
Being in that place to be comfortable enough and be at peace to step up there and knock them down.
Was that your first experience with golf when you came here and met with the golf team and stuff like that?
Yes. Yeah, first time picking up a club.
Are you righty or lefty? Righty?
I'm a righty.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here comes the 2-2 to Hegeman. After a long wait, Adler delivers low. It's a full count. What is the next step for the Cincinnati basketball program? Obviously, we're winding down on your time here, but I might want to end with this note here. The next step. What do you see as the future for the Bearcats basketball program?
Well, I think taking that next step is major. Coach West came in the situation, and we had an up and down first year, and then to be able to win, I think 23 games this year and get into the NIT, it was a step from the first year. So obviously, you want to get to the tournament and make a deep run. So just being able to make that step towards the NCAA tournament would be the next step for this program.
Well, David, thank you so much for the time. You get to see a Bearcats run. Thank you for joining us up here.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
David DeJulius, Cincinnati basketball player. 5-1 Cincinnati, trailing going to the fourth.